Hey guys, welcome to yet another informative video from Tarkashastra. I'm Apurva Tidke. I'm the study abroad head for Tarkashastra. And today we are going to talk about one of the study abroad examinations, which is GRE. Now, GRE is basically a graduate record examination. You typically appear for this examination once you have done your graduation and you're trying to apply for a master's program. We'll take a look at the details of the examination shortly. It is conducted by ETS, which is Educational Testing Services. It is a computer-based, standardized and adaptive test, which means that it is taken on a computer mostly. It is offered offline as well, but right now, a lot of people don't offer that option. It is a standardized test, so the difficulty level is more or less similar. The question patterns are more or less similar. And it is an adaptive test. It means that if you mark one answer correctly, it is going to adapt as per your level of understanding, and it will throw at you a question that is trying to test a higher level of knowledge from you. So basically, if I mark one question correctly, the second question can be expected to be more difficult. And if you happen to mark something wrongly, then it will go down a bit in terms of difficulty. So this is what an adaptive test is. The score range usually is 260 to 340. That means you'll minimum have a score of 260 and the maximum score that you can have on your GRE is 340. Now, what is a good score, right? We have seen that the score ranges from 260 to 340. So exactly what is a good score for GRE? A good score for GRE falls between 300 to 350. Now, you may ask that many of the people I know have scored better than this. When I okay, if you're targeting for really well-known universities, Ivy League universities, then the score may or may not be enough depending on your profile. But it is a good score in the terms that you can get an admission in one of the universities that you are opting for. The validity of the score is 5 years. So basically, if you give the GRE examination today and you have a certain score, that particular score can be carried forward for 5 years. It means that you can apply on the basis of that score up to the next 5 years. So basically, what you are going to do is, a lot of people, what they do is, they take up the scores, they just complete their GRE tests and they wait for the application. This is done because if you strengthen your profile, if you work a little bit, if you get some decent work experience, the chances of better schools shortlisting your application are high. So for that particular reason, a lot of people, when they are in student phase or when they are studying continuously, they try to use that momentum to get a good score on GRE and apply a little later after accumulating some work experience and so on and so forth. Now, where all is GRE acceptable? GRE is acceptable for 180 countries, apart from US and Canada. So GRE is typically most important examination for universities in US and Canada for almost all the programs. And there are other 180 countries which accept this particular score. There's one thing that you guys must keep in mind, that GRE score is not going to decide your admission. Simply because you have a very high GRE score, it does not mean that you will get admission into an institute that you're targeting. A lot depends on your overall profile. So if you have a good profile, then even with a slight bit of a dicey GRE score, you still might get in. If you have a very good GRE score, but you don't have a good profile, then your GRE score may not. So please make a note of this. Let's take a look at the exam pattern of GRE. The first part of GRE is AVA, or Analytical Writing Ability. The second part is Quantitative Reasoning. And the third part is verbal ability or verbal reasoning. Now, what exactly happens in the first part, which is analytical writing ability? Analytical writing ability is basically trying to test how you analyze things and how, when you analyze something, you put down it on a paper. So basically, we are looking for people who are able to analyze the issue at hand and then write down their analysis. Okay, so here some crisp understanding of the content, ability to clearly state your your analysis, what you want to say, your communication in a very crisp manner, all that is required. It also has some brownie points for using a good vocab, and obviously grammatically you're expected to be good, if not flawless. There are two types of analytical writing ability tasks in this particular section for GRE. One is called the issue task. In issue task, you are given an issue and you are asked to analyze it and write down your analysis. Another one is called argument task. In argument task, you are given you are presented with a problem statement in which they are giving you some reasoning for taking some action. So this is basically an argument given in favor of something that they want to do. Here, what you have to do is you have to try and understand if their reasoning is good or if their reasoning does not justify what they are trying to do. So this is basically the argument test. Here, you have to consider both the positive points and the negative points, both the support for the argument and why you will reject the argument, and you have to conclude an essay. Usually, you may take a position at the end of the essay because some argument tests do want you to do that, but you are expected to write both the sides of the coin. So there are some fixed templates and all for writing ability. You may take a look online if you want. Moving on, part 2 of the examination is quantitative ability. In quantitative ability, your mathematical analysis, your ability to deal with mathematical concepts is tested. In this particular section, you are not expected to have very high level of mathematical knowledge. You just need to have applicative level of understanding up to the high school level. So if you read high school level books, it should be enough to crack a GRE examination. However, you should not only be able to apply those particular concepts in bookish terms, but you should be able to apply them to practical solutions. So here, the pro tip is you should practice as much as possible for you, because even though the concepts required are basic in nature, the application might need a little bit of more practice, and therefore practicing more will open more avenues for you to think in a creative manner, and that is what they are looking for. Part 3 of the examination is verbal ability. Now, since it is basically a language test as well, we are going to test your verbal ability. Verbal ability means your ability to deal with whatever is written in front of you, right? It forms a very important part of understanding whether the candidate has the desired ability to process written communication. Okay, so this is very important for us, this particular section, because in GRE, the kind of verbal ability that they are looking for is really high. So this will not, it will not serve you if you are still studying at high school level. There is a huge part of vocab, there is a huge part of critical reasoning, which forms a very big part of verbal ability. It also forms a part of AVA. But verbal ability, you will typically study CR as a subject. You will have some commonly known patterns of questions, for example, reading comprehension and sentence equivalence, and so on and so forth. Sentence completion is another pattern. So basically, they are trying to see whether you have a finer understanding of the language, and if you can distinguish between what should be used in a particular manner and what should not be used in a particular manner for a particular statement. Now, what to do in case you unfortunately score low? So this is a very big question, because GRE is a very costly examination for us, right? And Repeating it might sound a little bit tedious because you have to put in all the hard work and you have to put in all the energy once again, and also obviously the money. Now, GRE allows you to retake the examination 5 times a year. Okay, so you can apply for GRE examination 5 times a year. However, the GRE is conducted only 3 times. So there is this some kind of a like logical gap over there. But you can apply within 21 days and you may pick a slot. When you apply, it is not going to ensure you a slot for the examination because some seasons are more busy in terms of the applications of students. So you may apply right now and then choose a slot that is coming, say, 5 to 6 months later. So you first have to understand whether your score that you got in this particular attempt, which you are thinking is low, whether that will suffice in terms of admission. So the target school or the target university, whether it accepts that score or not. If it absolutely does not accept that score and there is no chance, then retaking the GRE may be a good option for you. However, if that score will do, then you should go ahead and apply. Another pointer is, do you have this confidence that you will definitely score better than this particular attempt? If not, then don't go for a retake. Because for a retake, you still have to give in the same amount of effort. And you just cannot say that since I scored low in verbal ability, this time I'll give more attention to verbal ability. That will not work. You still have to do everything from scratch and you have to redo all the strategical methods that you have applied in the first attempt itself. So whether to retake or accept is a decision that you should take very, very seriously. And you may cancel one of your GRE scores so that the applications don't go out for that score. However, that still will be counted as an attempt. Though the number of GRE attempts will not really create a lot of problem for your applications, but if you can avoid retake, you should avoid retake. And if you absolutely have to retake a test, then you should think of all these pointers before taking that decision. So that's all from me, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was informative enough. If you guys require anything else from me, please let me know in the comment section. If you like the video, please subscribe us on YouTube. We are Tarkashastra, the channel you are watching this on. Follow us on Facebook, again Tarkashastra, and follow us on Instagram. You may want to visit our website to check out our products. So we are available on www.tarkashastra.co.in. See you guys.